When I was younger, I was on the internet and I found a website, stillwellsports.com, and I kind of got to looking at it, and it was ran by Greg Stillwell, who, if you're from this area, he's kind of put everything together for Stillwell football. Any sport they have, he's put it together, and I came across his website and was reading it, and I thought, man, that's cool. I want to do that. I want to do something like that for Westville. You know, why can't we have that? And so I just kind of modeled everything that I did after what he did, and kind of called him and talked to him, and he kind of gave me tips on how to research things and where I could find things, and that's how we got started on doing this. It would have been the summer going into my senior year, so I was 17. I went to Mr. Hustis, who was the football coach at that time, and I said, this is what I want to do. I want to document everything in Westville football history. I want to put it all together. And he sent me to Dan Collins, who was the superintendent at that time and used to coach for a while here. And he gave me a stack of papers that had everything in it from 1925 to 1932. And then there was nothing from 32 to 45 and everything from 46 until the present. And I asked a couple people why there was nothing from 33 to 45. And I've been told a couple things, maybe the newspaper office burnt or some other things, but I was determined to go back and fill in those years. I spent a lot of time at the library here in town, microfilming through everything, piecing together what I could find, schedules. And then my first coaching job, I lived out west of Oklahoma City, and I spent a lot of time at the Historical Society in Oklahoma City, kind of piecing it all together, and eventually was able to fill everything in and found some games from years before 25, so now I have everything from 1924 until now. When I first started this, my grandma, she was a Westville graduate in the 40s, and she would tell me, these are some people that you should speak to. These are, here are the names: Woodrow and Fainell Bowles, who he taught and coached here forever, was a principal, and she was a teacher here in elementary for her entire career. And she said, go talk to them. Just tell them you're my grandson and they'll know who you are. They'll talk to you. And so I spoke with them, I would see some names that I knew, and I would say, could you help me out? And they would say, well, I can't, but here's who can. And I've been all over. I've spent time in Tulsa. Anywhere that there was a former player that I thought could help me, we went and talked. There's a guy that I visited with in Tulsa who played in 62, 63, and 64, which is probably one of the most successful time periods in Westville football. And he said, hey, come over. I've got a bunch of stuff you've probably never seen before. And he gave me playbooks from Jigs Phillips, pictures in color of those guys that were, district champions and won a ton of games. And they said, well, I'm not going to use this. Here, you can have it. And so I've just compiled all kinds of things that people have given me throughout this journey. When I first started this, I thought, I just want to do this. I just want to write down the games. And then each time I thought about it, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I thought about all these things I wanted to do. I think the coolest thing about this whole thing now that I've done it is when I talk to somebody that I've never met that's 70, 80 years old, and maybe their dad or their grandpa played, and then I show them something that they've never seen before. And I think, man, those people have been, they're 70, 80 years old and they've never seen this picture, or they didn't know that. So that's something that I really enjoy. I think it's cool for Westville because there's a lot of places and a lot of schools that have things like this. And now that we have it, why not us? We have that too. There's not a lot of schools that have fielded a team from 1924 until now. Even through World War II, we had a team, and through all those times we had a team. So the fact that that's documented and people know it and it's easy to find, I think that's pretty cool. But all in all, it's something that I wanted to do, and I did it. And the fact that it's done now, it's just something that I think I'll cherish forever, and then other people's families can cherish because they can see it as well.
Well, Brendel is passionate about Westville. He always has been, and I think school was very important to him. I remember when he was in junior high and elementary school coming through, and he always had lots of questions. Want to know why we did it this way, why we did it that, those kinds of things. And so, I mean, he's just one of those kids that it really struck a nerve with him. So he's taken it to a whole new level, and we appreciate that at the school. and it's good. It's good for our community and for our school, you know, because this school is what this community is. You know, look at our building, 1936. So, I mean, but everybody will stop by and take a picture of it because it's so beautiful. So, anytime you can put history and try to relate it to the future, then that just helps you out. And I mean, Brindle's doing a good job with it. We're proud of him. We're proud he's a Westville grad, you know, and that he wants to do this because, like I said, he's finding information that I feel like how do you find that out? How, you know, so he's doing a really good job.